Welcome to the Good Talk, our recap and Q&A show where we go over the game we just played and answer your questions. And this was a special game because it was two factions we had not had in a long time, and I don't think we've ever played against each other. Of course, it was the Ynnari against the Space Wolves, and it was, as expected, a bloodbath of a game, very bloody. One of the two factions, the Ynnari, was essentially tabled, which was bound to happen. One of us was going to get the upper hand in most cases, and that's really what happened here. But it was a really cool game throughout. Just the Space Wolves ended up having kind of like we clashed in the center, and then it tipped over on the Space Wolves side, and they ran over forward into the Ynnari lines. And it was tough.
You both ran at each other full speed.
Yeah.
Neither of you backed down.
Right.
And one of you was just, had more momentum.
Yeah, that's absolutely the case. And of course, we were excited. We had Jonathan here. Playing his Ynnari, which is one of his classic factions, right?
Yeah, I love Ynnari. I'm glad I got to play him today. It's been a long time. It probably was like 2 years.
This was the last faction, like the first time you played on the channel was Ynnari.
Was Ynnari, and it was probably the last time I played, to be honest.
Right. It's been a long time because the rules haven't been updated.
Yeah.
And they brought out Drukhari, which is so good and strong, and it's so fun, and there's, you kind of lose a bunch of that new fun stuff when you become Ynnari. And funny enough, if Ynnari is supposed to be the combat faction, just plain Drukhari is a better combat faction.
Probably, yeah. We lose a lot of the good Drukhari stuff. We keep the data sheet, but it's still
we lose
rough.
Power from pain.
We lose power from pain.
Brutal.
The whole army has advance and charge already.
I know.
Yeah. And some of the strats and relics,
we have to pay to get those power through pain stuff, right?
Exactly.
And we don't have enough CP to start out with. So
agreed, because you're taking all these detachments.
All the detachments,
which normally with Drukhari are not an issue either.
Yeah.
You get multiple detachments. So definitely, I think at the end of the day, the efficiency of the Aeldari units just wasn't there. And we saw that in a turn where you charged with some big punchy looking stuff. Right. This was kind of your big turn 3, if I'm not mistaken. And this was your chance to cripple me.
I know.
You charged all across the whole board. On 4 out of the 6 objectives, all the objectives that weren't yours, you charged.
Yep.
And not only did you not kill anything on any of those 4 fights,
right off,
but I killed you dead in all 4 of those places.
The slapback was brutal. I knew I was fragile, of course, on Aeldar.
Yeah.
But I was hoping that my punch would be a little more decisive.
Yeah, you were all glass, no cannon.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a perfect way to put it, yeah.
And that was the decisive turn because now you were down 4 critical units.
I know, yeah.
And everything of mine was just in position to strike at your edge of the board, and I had lost nothing.
Yeah, I knew your Terminator was going to take over that side of the board, and I needed to control the other half that you weren't contesting yet.
Yeah. Do you have something that actually did end up performing in this game, though, that you would say was your MVP? Would play again.
That's the Haywire bikes were really good. They did take down the Land Raider. It took a few turns.
It took longer than it should have.
Yeah, probably. But at the same time, they got to get on some objectives and actually held your back objective for
the fallback and charge.
2,
and fallback, shoot, and charge. Was big.
It was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave them a lot of flexibility.
And they were actually pretty durable. They stuck around to the end, despite I fought them multiple times, shot them multiple times.
Yep.
They're always good.
They're the one unit that didn't get tabled. So
that's right.
The Harlequins were the top performers out of the 3 factions.
Yeah,
I would say it was like Harlequins, Drukhari, Craftworld.
Yeah,
Craftworld really underperformed for
the
Craftworld did like
kind
0
of expected.
wins.
Yeah, kind of expected, to be honest. The Harlequins have a great data sheet, right?
Yeah.
A lot of their stuff that we love.
And you keep their benefits.
Yeah, and you keep the benefits.
Yeah.
You only get better. Yeah. You
only
fight
get better.
first that they're not usually getting, and they're hitting on 2s, which they're not usually getting.
Exactly, and you have access to some strats that are actually genuinely great for them, right? So for me, I think my Chaplain was the MVP because the aura for +2 to charge
won you the game.
Yes, won me the game.
Yeah, that turn 1 was it turn 1 that charge into the Incarn?
It was turn 2. I got into the Incarn because I used 2 abilities that this faction has. One of them is Keen Senses, where I ignore minuses to charge because I was charging through a forest. And then the other ability was, of course, this +2 to charge. And so I took something that should have been like an 11-inch charge down to a 7.
Crazy, yeah.
And I had rerolls from Ragnar, so I got in there.
That's right, yeah.
And the + to Pylon meant that I got my models in, even on I only rolled just a 7, and my +to Pylon is what got me in. So that was all the Chaplain.
That was a super long charge, and I went there in the first place because I thought it was safer, right? Something I killed something
like an
there.
11-inch charge should be long.
It was probably was it the safer position? Was that the right place? Should I have gone teleported there, or should I stayed on that side of the board?
I think it's hard to say, but ultimately,
You might have just got diced up by Bjorn.
Yeah.
I think Bjorn would have killed
I
you.
Bjorn
agree.
would have joined the fight a little sooner.
Because
probably
Bjorn was right
challenged
next to you.
Yeah, he was right there. He had the charge.
Bjorn had the chance to one-shot you. The thing was the invuln would have been the deciding factor. But ultimately, yeah, that chaplain was big. And the chaplain helped me get the charge the next turn into your backlines again. Right? And that +2 to charge. No joke.
Yeah.
So good. And I didn't need it with the teleporting unit of Terminators, but I could have had that option as well, should I have needed it. So I think that was pretty clutch for me. But ultimately, even a few things really did well. Bjorn killed 2 full units of Shining Spears back to back.
Back to back.
Right? Once in your turn and then once again in my turn. That was pretty heavy. And then he killed the Vizark in the end. Right? And even just my Dreadnoughts, right? The Wolfen Dreadnoughts were crazy.
They were a huge speed bump for me. It was the 4-up invuln is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And the -1 damage.
And the -1 damage.
Yeah, and the -1 damage. That's what Craft World have, right? It's the AP and the damage.
2 damage.
Yeah.
And you remember that first turn where my Dreadnought lived on 1 wound, and then he got to
was so good.
he got to exact his vengeance, and the durability really matters a lot. Tons of attacks. So yeah, I'd say a few of my units really were kind of going on all cylinders, whereas the Eldar really were just eking out. Like everything was just trying to just make its mark. So it was definitely a tough
I had a lot of fun though. Ynnari, it's been a while. So playing around with the strats, getting to play all 3 factions, like you never see soup anymore. So
you never see it.
This is a great way to have cool strats. And
I love that you had the Wraithseer. The Wraithseer is so cool, but he had that one chance to kill my Wolfen Dreadnought, and he just flubbed it. And I felt so sad for him because he's got this giant spear, and he's like, "This is my time. I'm gonna cut this guy."
He's a psyker and he kills vehicles, right? And he flubbed on.
Yeah,
at least
kind of
one
both those jobs,
Yeah,
actually. I don't think he did much of either.
He got the super smite off, actually.
He did,
right?
he did.
But only against
The little troops.
Yeah.
The blood claws.
and it wasn't enough to do anything because that one blood claw lived.
Actually lived.
And actually held the point, denying you stranglehold. So,
It was cool, though.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
What a great game. But you know what we do have?
We have some mail.
We have some mail.
It's been building up.
Yeah, we
We've
actually
had
have
a QA
3.
for a while.
We have 3 packages. And I think here, Bridger, I'll give one to you. This one is for
This one's
you.
for me.
Okay, and this one is coming from Vincent, actually in Toronto. And you know what?
Nice.
Very close to where I used to live in Toronto. That would have been walking distance to my house.
You could, maybe you've hung out with Vincent in your life. Maybe. We'll never know.
Old friend.
Old friend.
Any guesses
new
what these
friend.
might be?
Well, this is from a shirt company.
So pants.
Pants.
could
You know what?
be.
Socks. Everyone needs more socks. You know, what do you get for the guy who has everything?
You get him socks. Nice, warm, comfortable Bombas socks. Please sponsor us, Bombas socks.
I don't even know what that is.
You
But
don't-
clearly, you really
Well,
like
how
socks.
many podcasts
that went
do you
over me.
not listen to? What?
I hit the skip forward 30 seconds button.
Bombas Socks sponsors like every podcast in existence.
And if you skip over the commercials, you don't.
I like the material already.
all right.
What
It's
is
a Torco Borco shirt because it's Taco Bell.
Oh,
Torco Bork, Taco Bell, but
Yeah.
for orcs. I love it.
that is amazing.
I did not know that shirt exists. That's awesome.
Well, there's another one in here.
So we can match.
So we can match Torco Borco.
Okay.
So I can have one and you can have one.
so awesome.
Or maybe one of these is meant for Adrian. Oh, there's a letter.
Okay, you read your letter. I have my letter.
Well, I don't know if my letter can be read.
Read the
Listen,
letter.
if you send us a letter, we'll read it.
It said the first thing it says, you can read this on air.
Okay.
Awesome.
The 40K Badcast guys have a bonus episode where they review Taco Bell menu items for their patrons, and they made this awesome shirt commemorating it.
Amazing.
That's where it's from. I know Bridger will appreciate, but Adrian plays orcs, so you decide. It's from Anonymous.
That's
So
fantastic.
there's a
You know,
shirt for each of us.
So what you're telling me, there's another 40K channel out there that loves Taco Bell
Yeah.
and Warhammer as much as we do?
Yeah.
That's a rare combination, I think.
The 40K Badcast. Their logo's on the back.
All right, I'll have to check out 40K Badcast. Sounds cool. Well, clever idea. We love Taco Bell and Warhammer.
Maybe we should do a review.
This letter says, in Rod, we... Doesn't say trust.
It doesn't say trust?
No, they know what you mean. Okay, so this is a custom model that we were sent. He's a really cool, like, angel justiciar kind of conversion.
Ooh.
And it says, Justiciar from Ragnarok. Hey, Titans, here's my small contribution. I hope you enjoy the Iron Angel. All ready to roll sevens and yell when it actually happens. Otherwise, It just makes him extra mad. With great mayors comes great powers. Use them well. Vincent P. And of course, in Rod we trust. Thank you, Vincent. What a cool model.
Yeah, are those Scourge wings? I almost
Scourge
recognize
wings
them.
are pretty much the best wings to
I think
use.
those are Scourge wings.
They're awesome.
This Iron Angel is awesome. Look at him. Look at that mace he has.
It's the Mace of Absolution, isn't it?
It's an amazing mace.
Oh, and his head's really cool too.
Yeah, his head's really cool.
He's like
It's like an Iron Hand's head.
Iron Hand's head. Yeah.
Yeah. What a cool. This is a great model.
Awesome
Thanks,
model.
Vincent.
That's dope.
Yeah. I'll definitely see if I can put him in a game. Maybe we can use him on Saturday if we got Space Marines. That'd be fun.
Okay.
Is this, what is this? Is this,
Is it a magazine of some sort?
I don't know. It looks
Something
like
metal in it.
Oh,
it's a moisture trap for an airbrush.
That's
Maybe
just
it was
from
sent
Amazon.
Maybe this
actually.
was sent for
No,
Hobby Stream.
I think we just bought this on Amazon.
Why did we need this?
Yep.
Well, thank you, Amazon, for sending us our order. You know, we always appreciate them being sent on time. And the little catalog was a huge waste of paper. So please, would not catalog again.
I love it.
Listen, we got to thank Amazon for their hard work.
That's amazing.
Without Amazon, we wouldn't have almost anything in this room. They deserve it. All right, so should we get into some questions?
Let's get right into it. Thank you, either Tevin or Tevin.
I'm going to go with Tevin.
Thanks,
Tevin's all
Tevin.
right.
It's like Kevin. Rhymes with Kevin.
Yeah, I like it better.
Hey guys, love to see elves as always.
Me too.
I have 4 DLs, 4 downloads.
What's a DL that's an elf?
Dark Lance.
Lances? Yeah, that's the only thing I can.
Okay, yeah.
Dark
Because
Lances,
he says blasters,
two blasters.
next
So I think he's talking
blasters.
about Scourges probably.
and 3
What is
HLs.
he?
in my Drukhari list. What's
Okay.
an Heat
Yeah.
Lance?
Heat Lance, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In my current Drukhari list already,
Oh.
I have a unit of 2 Talos that I
Talos.
don't know what tail weapons to put on any advice.
Ooh.
Heat Lances all the time. Heat Lances are the best. They have 18 range. They always get the Melta rule.
Right.
Super good, especially with the Haywire nerf.
Yeah.
That's probably the one you want. Poison sucks. There might be one more. But yeah, Heat Lance is the way to go. It's the biggest punch. You can shoot in combat.
It's great.
It's great.
I agree. It's cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Rhetoric the Entertainer. I don't see a message, and I was watching when you super chatted, and I didn't see it then
It's
either.
just a donation.
But
Well,
you know
thank
what? If you're here,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
thank you, Ginger Rage. Watching while I rebase my army before the weekend.
Nice.
Wondering, Titans, what is the most painting or model prep you had to do just before a tournament? Well, my answer is easy.
You just
Okay.
reminded me that I need to base 10 models before this weekend.
You have a tournament this weekend?
I do, in Stockton, yeah.
Ooh.
soon.
Yeah.
Is this just an RGT?
It is a GT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because everyone's so hungry
Dude.
that all these events explode into GTs.
I know. There's so many events going on. Like everything's just opening up all
So
at once.
is this 6 rounds?
It's 5 rounds.
Okay,
Yeah.
5 rounds. 5
Okay.
rounds.
In one day?
No, 2 day.
Two
Two
day.
day.
Okay.
2 day, 5 rounds. Okay. I've had to do lots of tournament prep before. What's the most tournament prep you've done? Probably your Custodes?
LVO Custodes, I had to basically cut up the whole army because,
Right.
like, before that time, spears were all you would ever take a
Right,
custodian
you wanted to
guard.
put the shields.
And I brought like 30 custodian guard, so all my custodian guard had spears. I had like 5 with shields, so I had
Yeah.
to cut up and re-glue on arms and paint new arms for
Yeah.
25 custodian guard.
And you had to base
Because that was the list.
And I had to base them because my army wasn't really based.
Your
before
army
that.
wasn't really based, yeah. That's definitely
a
big.
lot of work.
Probably the most I did is I had even, it wasn't a big deal, but it was when the Ultramarine book just came out. And I was finishing my Ultras for the first time.
SoCal.
No, it was before SoCal. It was an RTT up here. And I had to finish the army, and I have a pretty high bar for models I take to tournaments, so they have to be not, I don't do tournament ready. I typically only do like parade ready models at a
Right.
tournament. So, full shoulders, fully based, full everything. And so I was trying to get a full army finished from scratch. Probably from the day that I started building the Ultramarines to the day I took it to the tournament was 3 weeks. And so it's pretty quick. And I did 3,000 points, not 2,000 points.
Yeah.
And so the bases were also a lot of work. They were nice resin bases.
They were nice
But there are
bases.
many steps, and I left them to the end. And like I left them to the last day. And so when you have to like airbrush a couple colors and then wash and then dry brush all in the same night, the wash is a thick wash. So you have to wait for the wash to dry. So I'm like
Yeah.
trying to dry the wash as quickly as I can with like air from my airbrush. and wanting to dry brush it. So I don't think it was like Earthshade was fully dry.
Right.
And so the dry brush was kind of bleeding it a bit, and I was like, this is killing me.
Not a dry brush
And so what I did is I went to bed, and I just woke up early.
And dry brush in the morning.
And I don't do mornings, and
Yeah.
you already have to get up early to drive to wherever, like Stockton or some town that's already 2 hours from here.
Yeah.
So this was already very challenging for me.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool tournament. And this was like right when the supplements were just coming out.
Yeah.
White Scars had just come out. Ultramarines were out, and we played against all that. Iron Hands wasn't out yet, though.
It wasn't.
So
those were the good days.
The
still.
scourge of
days.
Iron Hands, and so White Scars was out, and I played against a friend Nick, who's been on the channel. Played against Nick's brand new White Scars army, and everything went wrong for him, and he was so sad. He had like Master of Snares. He can't. My army's like fall back and shoot, and he's like, you can't fall back. And he was in base conduit with 3 units. And he's like, fail, fail, fail. And then my Centurions just walked back and nuke his whole army.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It was ruthless. Cool time though.
Yeah.
That was a cool army. I remember I took that army
You played
not
my
much later
Ultramarines, yeah,
at SoCal.
At SoCal.
Yeah.
It was only a couple weeks later, and because the aggressors were a menace,
They were awesome.
and
They were awesome.
yeah, especially with Ultramarines because they would count as not moving, even though they moved, and you could do that turn 1 with a stratagem, and then
Back then, you could just stay in a doctrine forever.
And,
so you
well-
go into tactical and just stay there.
Yeah.
right, and
It
so
was
you would
disgusting.
permanently move and shoot with the AP, and in addition to that, you
Big
had
double shot.
Gilliman for reroll
Everything.
a lot of stuff, and then you also had the Cassius, who was the first chaplain that could do 2
Yeah.
Right.
litanies.
Yeah.
And so you take your big unit of 6 Centurions, and you would give them +1 to hit and
+1 to wound. It was
and
so
then you'd
good.
put Seal of Oath
to reroll all wounds.
reroll all wounds. And I
gonna be
remember
deadly. It was a
at that
deadly
tournament,
time.
my very first game at round 1 of that tournament was an all knights list.
Oh no!
The knight, I was fully hidden. He went first, ran all his knights up at me. Then I came out, 1 unit of aggressors just straight killed a knight in shooting. Because I had +1 to wound there, so my bolters were wounding on 5s
no.
re-rolling.
Yeah.
And rend 1, because I put them in Devastator, tactical. And then the other ones had Seal of an Oath, and I popped another 2 knights.
Yeah.
So out of 4 full knights, my turn 1, I popped 3 knights.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh geez, I'm so sorry.
Well, that list had 5 cent devs, so that's 10 las cannons,
I think I had sent
lot.
6 Centurion devs.
12 las cannons
Because remember, there wasn't
with
blast or
full
anything.
rerolls from Gilliman.
Yeah.
That'll pick up models.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that was mean.
John, what do you?
Nothing super last minute. No Adrian levels. Nothing
Adrian's
like that.
done 2,000-point armies the night before.
Yes, yeah.
I
Without
think-
exaggeration, he'd be like, I'm going to change my army. Start painting the night
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
2,000 points.
I usually
Ridiculous.
try to plan mine out. I think the most recent major that Adrian and I went to, I did like 8 slits.
Okay.
I did like
Nice.
conversions from the AOS Daughters of Cain, and they make it just so much cheaper. It was something fun that I enjoyed doing, and I didn't mind doing it like all in one go. So yeah, nothing.
Pretty sure
nothing
that
crazy.
army, Adrian painted that army just like days before
Yeah,
that
he
tournament,
did,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, he's a maniac. he's the craziest of us all for this.
Thank you, Gene Stealer John. Ultramarines question: can you use the Sanctic Halo relic on an Indominus captain to gain a 2-up invulnerable save? I don't read anywhere that the relic shield caps out at a 3-up. Yeah, I think so.
Is this
What?
directly towards me?
No,
No,
it's
just
just
in general.
Ultramarines.
Oh, okay.
So can we use the
going-
Sanctic Halo relic
Yeah.
on an Indominus captain to get a 2+ save? Because what this relic is a +1 invulnerable save.
For 1 turn.
Is that true?
Indominus.
I thought that was the
I thought it was the armor. Indominus armor.
armor Indominus,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking of. But
The Indominus captain is a guy who has the storm. He has
He has a
the
fancy
relic
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
right.
And the relic shield gives him
An invuln for 1 turn. A 3-up
no.
invuln for 1 turn.
no, it does not. It gives him a feel no pain against mortals,
Okay.
and it gives him a 4-up invuln and a 2-up armor save.
Yeah.
So, and he has a good feel no pain against mortal wounds.
It's like a 5.
It's a 4/5. It's pretty good. So, but as far as how, because his storm shield isn't even a 3-up, so I don't
No,
know how we get
no,
it to a
no.
2-up. So, yeah, the Sanctic Halo, I don't really know how that would get us there, because yeah, storm shields are not 3-up anymore. So I have the supplement here for Ultramarines. So chapter relics. Let me just pull it up. Sanctic Halo. Here it is. Captain or a Chapter Master model only. He has a 3+ invulnerable save and can attempt to deny 1 power. So it gives him a 3-up save, but what would give him +1 to his invulnerable save? Nothing. So because the Storm Shield only gives +1 to armor saves.
Armor, yeah.
Not
Maybe
to
that's what they're
invulnerable saves.
missing.
Yeah, so Storm Shield is +1 to armor saves, not invulnerable saves. So this is going to be a 3-up invulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all the time, though.
Still good. Yeah, that's still
So this
really
guy
good.
2
would
up,
have
3 up.
He would have 3-up and a 4-up
Against
field
field
up-
opens.
against mortals. Yeah. So yeah, he'd be real tough.
Better than the Armor Indominus, only 1 time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Truth is, you mostly only need things like that one.
You do really only need it once. Cool. Thank you, Omnisci Sphinx. What is the best Iron Hands heavy support? Best Iron Hands.
So this is a kind of a tough question because almost anything can be good. So okay.
Not much is still in that slot.
Yeah, so that's true, exactly. Because there were some flyers that were good. Like without joking, the Fire Raptor is very dangerous. Like truly a thing of terror. The Fire Raptor is no joke. Even an Astraeus is a thing of real terror, but it's a billion points, and neither of those are heavy slots. What's it called? Repulsor Executioner is not what it used to be, and so it wouldn't be my pick. And so probably the Sakaran Punisher is
that a heavy?
It is. It moved from an elite to a heavy, I believe.
Okay.
So
A contender would be the Gladiators. Those are heavy, yeah?
yes, but the Gladiators are not actually contenders because most of their weapons are not heavy. And so when you put it in the Devastator Doctrine, it does not get to reroll 1s, does not get to have its bonus AP. And so the Gladiators
The
are
Missile
not
Speeder. Is that heavy support?
No, it's fast
Fast
attack.
attack,
Fast
yeah.
attack. Yeah.
So for me, probably is the Relic Relic is the Leviathan now a heavy, or is he still an elite?
He's an elite.
Elite, yeah.
He's still an elite. So probably this Karin, legitimately.
Yeah.
And this Karin Punisher in particular, because for 1 CP, that thing, you put heavy bolters on the side, heavy bolter on the front. So it's got 3 heavy bolters and then 18 or 20, I forget, Punisher shots, right? And then it's all AP1. For 1 CP, Devastator Doctrine. So you've got like 26 shots, AP2, rerolling 1s.
Jeez.
It's fast, and you can make it mega durable. And then for 1 more CP, every 6 to wound is an additional wound. So there's almost nothing you can't wipe,
Yeah.
in my opinion, that you can't one-shot, and it's cheap.
How many points is it?
It's under, I think it's under 200.
It's like
It's like
170, I think.
175, 180, something like this.
Good.
Yeah.
So this current Punisher is the real deal.
Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
I always thought it was a fast attack.
It used to be an elite, I believe. But
His thing is that it moves 14.
yeah, it's fast. All this current bodies are fast. And the Punisher is best in this, but sometimes the regular Punisher, the regular one with the autocannon is pretty good, but not anymore. I think the Punisher is the way to go.
All right, thanks, Limey. I'll put a photo in the Discord. Simon Hemlock. Been watching Tabletop Titans since the Assassin tutorials.
Whoa.
Thank you.
That's a throwback.
Thank you, Limey.
Samhain
Nice.
hemlocks are amazing
That's
looking.
red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to look.
Yeah, I wonder, well, so he paints, I assume he's going to paint it red like Sam Han red.
Yeah.
Because hemlocks are usually, black,
Yeah.
like black on black.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
They're the emo planes.
I love hemlocks.
You'll confuse everyone because like there'll be Crimson Hunters
Yeah.
and then hemlocks, and you just
They'll
gotta
look
like
super
fly
similar.
them like
Just put a bit more black into the Crimson Hunt, or into the
of
hemlock.
course, yeah.
I love hemlocks. I even love the concept of hemlocks a lot, but they've had a hard time making them work. They've overpointed the hemlock for its auto hitting when like the Crimson Hunters already hit on 2s and reroll 1s. So it's like the fact that the other thing auto hits is not a big
It's not a
thing.
huge deal.
It's the same problem as the Yavara for the exact same reasons.
Yeah, you overpaid for auto hitting.
It's fast and it auto hits, and GW's afraid of that.
They give it too much priority. And the psychic ability, the fact that it can deliver psychic powers deep in enemy lines, good, but it still just dies like an Eldar plane, so bad.
There's no bonuses. It's still, if you have multiple smites, it's going to be smiting them less than 5. So
Yeah. And if you have a critical power these days, all your psychers need to be together to get all the buffs.
exactly.
So if it's on its own, it's like, oh, is it going to jinx on its own? Like, good luck with that.
Yeah, you don't want to depend on a 7.
Yeah, it's tough, but I love the hemlocks.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Trayland. I have kit bashed and paint ready assembled a Grey Knight Champion in only 1.5 hours after work. Oh, wow. Bridger, check your Discord, and you will know the one
Ooh, so he might have sent you a direct message.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So, Brian, each of us, you, me, and Adrian, have to pick a model.
Okay.
Well, yours is already picked. Yours is this champion.
I'm so excited
It's a
about
Kip
that.
Ash Grey Knight champion.
I love that.
Nice.
And he's going to paint them and send it to us, and then we can give him feedback.
What is a Grey Knight champion?
I think of like the Black Templar champion with like
Yeah,
the
so is
sword
it-
up.
Like an
So
what's
Emperor's
the-
champion, but like maybe Grey Knights have their
Yeah.
own kind of champion?
Yeah, maybe they do. Every Space Marine chapter can take chapter champions. I just didn't know if Grey Knights could. I've never done it before.
Oh, okay.
Well, he said there's no model that they actually ever made for the Grey Knights champion.
Interesting.
Which does sound familiar.
Yeah, they've only have very few of those left in the game. But yeah, I definitely don't own a Grey Knight champion. Let me see if it's in my codex here. Brotherhood champion. Yeah, here he is, Brotherhood champion. So pretty cool. I'm into it.
Yours has been chosen for you. I chose it for
He
you.
has a rule called the Perfect Warrior. You choose a combat stance for him. Sword strike or blade shield stance.
I played that guy.
Yeah, you could get +1 to wound rolls or +1 to saving throws, except in
good.
vulnerable saves.
Both
And
good. Oh,
he has an Iron Halo. He has a heroic sacrifice. So if he dies, he fights on death, which is
That's awesome.
great. And he gets to do that even if he's fought currently, unless they've fact it, which I don't think they have. And yeah, I'm into it. And
That's dope.
he casts 1 from the Santic Discipline, and he's got a Nemesis Force Sword. So kind of cool. All right, I'm excited.
Pretty dope.
I'm officially excited.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacob. Just played against Craft Worlds, and I was playing White Scars. I sure hope their book helps him. 20 Vanguard vets felt like they could pretty much invalidate anything Eldar.
Yeah.
Craft World. I mean, their thing is, I assume he had shields on the Vanguard vets.
Like shields and claws or something.
Yeah. And Eldar Craft World, AP's their thing. If you have invulns that are pretty decent, then kind of.
Well, and also Vanguard vets with White Scars, you never get to hit them because they advance in charge.
That's right.
And they're infantry, so they just they're hidden. They're deep in your lines, and Craft World has to fight first or it loses.
Yeah.
Right. Like if I charge your Shining Spears in your deployment zone, the game's over.
Right.
And that's exactly what these do.
Yeah, they'll be like, wait, you're fast too? Oh, wait, I'm
Yeah.
dead. Yeah.
A specific game comes to mind, John, where I played Raven Guard, and I turned one charged and touched all your Shining Spears, and the game was
Oh
over
my
turn 1.
gosh. Or the Basilisk, the most recent, the Basilisk.
You
the
charge
Basilisk
with
charge.
the Basilisk.
The Shining Spears, and I was like, 4 turns later, I'm still trying to kill this
Yeah.
Basilisk.
Shining Spears really get tied up once you get touched.
Did it die eventually? No.
No, I was.
It was
watching
like on 1 or 2 though, right? It was like I did 10 wounds over the course
That
of
was
like 8 fight
That was
phases.
a silly game.
Yeah.
So it was a 2v2 game,
Yeah.
and John and I just spent the entire game having a grudge match.
Just like invalidating each other's
Yeah.
units.
We ignored the other players, just tried to take each other out of the game.
Yeah, with a bloodlust. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, you're right. Craft Worlds are struggling, especially against an army like White Scars,
White Scars
who are
are
so
good.
excellent. And
Really good.
20 Vanguard veterans is
It's monstrous.
it's especially with the 2 damage on the claw, and it's just so
Against Eldar, I would combat squad that to have 4 units of 5, and it's like, what are they going to do?
Yeah, they're
I'll
just
touch
loose.
everything.
They're just loose.
I'll
yeah.
touch all your units. You
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah, it's vicious.
Will you shoot me in combat with your blast weapons? Get out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take. If you want to make that an even fight, you're gonna have to take like some TAC Marines or something
In a drop pod.
with special weapons.
And they'll still kill a lot of Eldar. too.
Yeah, take some Devastators with last cannons. You know what I mean? This is what you're gonna need to do.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Riley. Howdy, Titans.
Howdy.
Would you please let James know that we need a Land Raider Beast trailer that you can attach to the back and put Thunderwolves inside? Okay.
Yeah, Brian, how did your Thunderwolves get into the fight? You gotta wheel them in.
That's it.
I'm into it.
So I don't think you could fit Thunderwolves, but I think you can get Pharynzian wolves.
No, you can
Just like
get
a
a
little-
real big cage. Like we have trailers for horses. You could.
These are much larger than horses.
Well, so you put 2 in
then
the
again, so
trailer
is a
instead
Land
of 8. You know, like.
Okay, so I
think
can
we
get
can
2
make
in
it
a but I
happen.
need to have at least a valid squad's worth. You need something that can hold 3.
Okay. Well, the Land Raider, I feel like it has enough horsepower to carry.
You know what I think?
Arbitrarily
The
many
Space Wolves
Thunderbolts.
would do. I think what they would do is instead they would attach the the Thunderwolves to the front of the Land Raider,
would pull the
and they
Land
would put a sled
Oh,
on
yeah.
the Land Raider instead of tracks.
There you
And
go.
now that's the solution.
That came to mind as well. Yeah.
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 So I'm pretty sure that's
Plus
the
two
actual
move.
solution. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool. Could you imagine ramping? Like you do some sweet tricks with
Yeah.
your Land Raider, getting pulled by Thunderwolves,
It would be great.
riding on top. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Matthew Nurgle. The Tabletop Titans, you all would absolutely have 10 attacks base and 10 swings per attack.
Whoa.
I'm sure. Hitting on 2s, rerolling all 1s 2 times, auto wounding. Yum. Thanks all. Happy WA gaming. Matthew Nurgle, you forgot to thank yourself.
Yeah.
And as we all know, self-care.
You know, I feel like we should thank him.
Thank
Again.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Matthew
you.
Nurgle.
I think that would be fair. The amount of attacks. I think it's good.
That's
I
100
particularly-
attacks.
I particularly like the rerolling ones 2 times.
Twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's it actually puts in parentheses overriding the rule that does not
Yeah.
let you reroll dice.
I think
multiple
something in
times.
the game should have that. I think it'd be cool.
Okay.
It would just waste a lot of time.
It would.
They might as well just make it auto hitting. But you know. But not auto hitting.
Or let's say it hits on 6s, but you have to reroll no matter what the first result of the dice is. You have to reroll it.
So the first dice
completely
is
waste
just to screw with you. And if you get more 6s the first time than the second time, you get none.
Okay.
So you always
Alright.
have to beat your first roll.
So that gives purpose to the first roll. And
Yeah.
you have to keep track.
I
You have
gave
to write
purpose to
down.
the first roll. Yeah. Yeah.
Brian's thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, it's on a per die basis. Like if a die rolls a 6 and then not a 6,
Oh, it's per die.
or
So you have to roll
not a
one at a
6 and
time.
then-
Yes. So, but it's illegal to roll them one at a time.
Okay. All right.
So you have to mark the dice
That's going to
uniquely.
be challenging.
Yes. It's gonna. It's like a 50-minute dice roll.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Thank you, Thomas Jefferson. Greetings. Starting a crusade soon. Can't pick between which army to take, Death Guard or Custodes, and what units to avoid, so I don't. Power game.
These are both super cool for Crusade.
Yes.
I think they're both super cool. I would go Death Guard personally.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's more individual personality that you can like more options.
yeah.
Do Custodes have Crusade rules?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah,
Only
that's
factions
another
with
reason
books.
to do
Exactly.
the Death
Exactly.
Guard
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was my first thought. Yeah.
One of the things that's coolest about Death Guard is particularly the Plague Marines have so many weapon options, right? Like I have one with a great, what's called a Giant Plague Cleaver. No one's ever seen this weapon. It's so amazing, and you can take that, right?
Yeah.
Or you could take your blight launchers, your plasma guns, or your mace,
Your flail.
your flail, right? You can take double knives. So many cool options there that I think are a lot of fun, and they have tons of these elite characters which you can fit in and bring a lot of personality.
Yep. Make it unique.
Yeah, I think it's really unique. And what to avoid for power gaming? I think avoid anything that is very binary. For instance, the what's the big tank Plague Burst Crawler? That thing's really tough to deal with
It is.
because a lot of small point armies have nothing that can kill it ever, and it is a menace,
Yeah.
right? I think you should also avoid like that flamer guy with Fight Last, because in a small army, his flamer is vicious,
The Foul
and the
Black
fight
Blast.
Last,
yeah, the fire
yeah.
blast, and the fight last is a little much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously,
agree.
Mortarion.
Don't bring Mortarion in Crusade.
I don't even think you're allowed to bring named characters in Crusade.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, because you have to
Get 'em out of
name
here.
the characters. Yeah.
Get him out of here.
But also, don't min-max your squads. Like oh, I'm going to take all maces or whatever like that, and just
You better
Mix it
have
up,
squads
man.
of 7.
Mix it up. Yeah.
If you don't have squads of 7,
That's
you're doing
good.
it wrong.
Just a bunch of 7.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Squad of 7.
yeah.
Do it.
And
Run
bring
it.
like your slow, awesome combat character, like a Lord of Contagion. Kid him out.
Lord of Contagion
chop
is
stuff
actually
up.
great.
He's great. He
Yeah.
moves like 4. You'll get him in combat. You'll do it. You'll figure it out.
When you deep strike him.
It's going to be awesome. Thank you again, Ginger Rage. FYI, for my tournament this weekend, I will be rocking my favorite shirt, the Tabletop Titans Can't Change the Past shirt.
Very nice.
Love that shirt.
Yeah, me too. It's a good one.
Can't
I wear
change
the
it.
Good Talk shirt like all the time.
Yeah.
And my coworkers now like ask me questions about it. They're like,
Alright.
why do you
Who's
always
that?
wear this shirt?
You have a picture of yourself on your shirt?
No, it's not me. It's
yeah,
you guys.
it's you.
Oh, that's
Ginger.
right.
It's not- I
true.
would not wear a
Who are
shirt
these people?
with myself on me.
I actually think we should do that now.
Very weird. I would not do that.
We should do like a new emote of you doing a certain pose. So then it's on you on the shirt, and then people
And then
can come
I-
up to you and you do the pose.
Yeah. All right.
The finger guns
only for events.
is the best.
Yeah, only for
I will
events.
only wear that shirt at events.
Events and every conference call.
Thank you, Nick. Hey, Titans. What do you think of this Iron Hands list? Sacrifice competitiveness for maximum dreadnoughts, which I approve of.
Yes. Yeah.
We
weirdly still competitive. So.
Yeah.
We have a Librarian, Primaris Captain, Ironfather Pharaohs, 4x5 Assault Intercessors, 3 Redemptors, 1 with March and Target Protocols,
Sure.
3 Relic Contemptors with Volkite and Cyclone Missile Launchers, 2 ATVs. Hold on, I thought you said you sacrificed competitiveness. This list is very
It's
strong.
good, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you could have had more dreadnoughts.
You definitely could have. The ATVs, frivolous.
Yeah.
You have a 4th squad of Assault
Yeah.
Intercessors.
Why? This could
that
be
out of here.
where's the Vendread? You could have Vendread. You could have an Ironclad.
We could have Daredeo Dreadnoughts in here.
Ironclad has iron in the name.
It does. There's so many more Dreadnoughts we could fit in here.
Yeah.
But you're taking things like ATVs,
You got 3
Taking-
characters when you could only have 2.
an extra squad of Assault Intercestors.
Yeah.
Let's get more Dreadnoughts in here.
Yeah. I feel like you do at least one more Dreadnought.
Yeah.
What is this balance list you're trying to make over here? Get out of here.
This list is also incredibly powerful. Let's take a minute to appreciate just how strong this list is.
This army would wreck.
This army's
That's
nuts.
good, yeah.
Yeah. This army would win against almost everything we've put on the table on the channel for the last many weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kills a lot of raiders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then again, Raiders could do some work on it.
True. Well, I mean, he has the librarian.
He's the live for the
Yeah.
invuln.
Yeah.
And they have the -1 damage. And the Volkite will just pick him up.
Yeah.
If you walk out.
Do you cyclone? You sacrifice a Volkite gun for a cyclone?
No,
right?
it's on the
Or no,
top.
it's on the top.
It's on the top, yeah.
You lose nothing.
So good.
It's just points for more
It's just a
guns.
ton of points.
That's good. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, that's a good point. We could take those Cyclone Missile Launchers off.
Turn them into Dreadnoughts.
More Dreadnoughts.
Yeah, melt it down, Dreadnoughts.
Thank you, Avelian. Hey, Titans. This game has gotten me interested in Ynnari. What should I look at to start a 1,000-point list?
What do you think, Jonathan?
So many options.
It was a success if I inspired someone to take Ynnari. I think we kind of. It depends if you're going to go competitive route. I mean, I guess.
Let's say we're not, because we're playing Ynnari.
Yeah.
So let's start with HQs. What's the HQs at 1,000 points?
I think you still want the Incarn, right? I
Is
think
the
the
Incarn
Incarn is
like-
the first pick.
350 points
It's
or
like
something?
300.
Yeah,
like
That's a lot of
75.
points.
Okay, but it's awesome.
But it's awesome,
And
and it teleports.
If not the Incarn,
Different
Yvrain,
dimension.
right?
Yvrain.
You're right, sure.
Yvrain is the safe pick.
Yeah.
Incarn's the saucy pick.
The saucy pick.
Yeah, okay. So we got some HQs.
What detachment do we take? I think we go into Craft World, maybe?
You're going to start with Craft World?
I think so. I think there's a lot of cool stuff with Banshees. I don't know. I didn't take any
What is
Banshees,
he
but
talking about? Is he trolling this guy?
You're hurting my feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know
what
where
do
you're
you
going
guys
with this.
want? What?
No, make
Incubi?
it cool, but like playable.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We've got Incubi.
Incubi.
And they got new models.
They got
now
new
we're
models.
talking.
Now we
we're
have
talking.
good data sheets.
Okay.
We can put Raiders in. So now when the Raiders die, you get the power through or the strength from death, and now you're hitting on twos, fighting first, and you're going out
Okay.
with a blast.
So we have a
Yeah.
unit of Incubi in a Raider. We need to finish that detachment now.
Well, you have to have your brain.
Okay.
So that's the HQ.
So what's
You
our
need
troop?
troops?
Witches.
Witches.
So we've got that's our Drukhari detachment. Is some witches and
Incubi,
an
Raider.
Incubi
Yeah.
Raider. That's great.
Yep.
Now let's take something from
How
Harlequins.
many points is that? Yeah.
We're not over
It's a
yet.
lot of points.
It's not that.
Yeah.
It's not 1,000 yet though.
No, certainly. It's like 600 or 700.
Skyweavers are a cool pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Skyweavers were good. They were my MVP for sure. And troops. That's
Yeah.
it.
So
That's
like
it.
a unit of troops.
But you need a second Ynnari character.
And it can't be the Incarn. Because it's
Can't-
way
yeah,
over
so it has to be the Vizark.
The Vizark?
He's actually the cheapest HQ, so that actually could
and
work.
he's really cool model.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's make it it's 1,000 points, just 2 detachments.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
maybe we'll leave the craft world
Yeah,
out.
yeah, probably.
Okay. So we did it.
Troops, yeah.
So troops,
Upgrade the
Skyweavers, witches, and
Incubi.
Incubi.
And the Raider.
And that's our army.
Genuine question, John.
I think this is a good army.
Grotesques as Ynnari, what do you think?
Nah, you pitched this before. Coven can't be Ynnari.
Poop.
In the lore, it's a huge grudge match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coven are kind of like, I don't know, they kind of are about death, but they're not about their souls getting taken away, right? So Incarn is all about the souls going to the death god, man.
That's right.
The lore behind Ynnari is actually really awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
neat.
Like when you're losing a game as Ynnari, they're happy. They're in their happy place. All their souls are going to a death god, and that's how they defeat
That's how we win.
Slaanesh.
Yeah.
They're just like this death cult.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
great.
suicide pact. It's great. Thank you, Cody. I just finished building my son's death guard. Is there any other faction that has a personality-filled troop choice? Every model told a story. That's something that was like when we first saw those death guard kits.
Yeah.
That's something that really showed is like how much detail. That was one of the early, very detailed kits.
I agree.
Where like every model was posed differently and had different accessories and different like you would have maggots.
Yeah,
and
I agree. You know what actually I genuinely think? Space Wolves.
Okay.
So Space Wolves units can have a lot of options. They, lots of little tchotchkes and runes and things like this. And I really think you can put a ton of personality. There are not all like dudes with like the same head. They all can have like wild hair and crazy beards and different cloaks and things
Even
like
the
that.
helmets are super different.
Yeah. And lots of room. Like if you went and looked into the conversions, you could do there too. Lots of room to kit bash or do your own cool stuff. So I actually think Space Wolves genuinely are probably one of the more personality filled on the per model basis.
No, I totally agree. Yeah, even the way the army runs, like the things you can take. The different upgrades you can take.
Yeah, especially the Terminator squad, the Wolfguard Terminators. They're the only Terminators that I know of in the game where every model can have a different layout. And so it's like you can have half the guys in the unit be shooty and half be fighty, and or you can have Lightning Claws and Stormbolters, or Lightning Claws and Storm Shields.
Or like combi Plaz, combi Melta.
Yeah.
You can take all the combi weapons with your right hand.
Totally cool.
Take any melee weapon with your left hand.
I agree.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you, John Adam at Bridger. That's me. I just got my third army, and I bought over 5,000 points of Custodes.
Nice.
Wow.
That's at least 25 Custodes.
My list I like right now runs the 6 Dreads, swords and spears. You think I should spend the CP to put Eternal Penitent on all of them?
No.
Wow.
Your CP is already so precious, right?
That army loves its CP.
Wow.
I would put Eternal Pendant on most 3.
On the 3 Galatis, the sword and shield.
The Sword and Shield. Correct.
Because the Achilles Dreadnoughts are distraction carnifexes.
Yeah.
You're just going to sprint them somewhere.
They're kind of all distraction carnifexes, but at least the shield guys will live.
They'll get the value, right? Yeah. The Achilles Dreadnoughts, you're going to shoot your battle cannon once with each of them, and you're going to get maybe 1 charge with each of them.
Because those are the Dreadnoughts they're going to kill first.
Yeah.
Because they're easier to kill.
And
so you want them to have less value for killing them.
Theoretically more lethal. Although in practice, I think Galatis are also more lethal.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, I would only do it at the 3 times, personally.
And on the 3 Galatis.
Yeah, agreed.
Also, who said 6 was the limit? You could put Telemons in there, man.
You heard it here first. This is Bridger
actually?
suggesting Telemon.
I don't like Telemons, but if your whole list concept is Custodes Dreadnoughts, I prefer Telemons to Achilles Dreadnoughts.
Okay.
Everyone's living that dread life.
Listen, you got to have that -1
Wolfen
damage
dreads,
army-wide.
Iron.
Dreads are awesome.
Yeah. Iron
Dreads are
hand
awesome.
dreads.
Yeah.
Somebody told
I
me
agree.
that when I go to Charity Hammer, I should just play Custodes Dreads.
Why not? We've got them.
I would do, except I don't like Telemons.
Oh, yeah.
And that is like the hardest.
But you know what? It's a small army to transport, which is nice. Easy to set up, fast to play. If you're playing in the middle of the night, it's nice to be playing just like 6 models.
That's true.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah. I think you should do it.
I can't
fact-
not bring the Caladius system.
How many can you actually fit? Like, how many is
plenty.
6 dreads?
It's a few.
There are like 150, 160
Oh,
points
okay,
each.
okay, so it's actually reasonable.
The HQ tax on the detachment is also like 200 points.
Unless you're taking dudes on foot, which are like a flat 100 points.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Kaldorf. Hey, Titans, fun match as always. Looking for List Opinion, Dark Angel Patrol, and Vanguard. 5, what? Five-man Intercessor. I understand.
Oh, okay.
10-man attack with Rhino, RB Laz. Don't know what that is. Razorback with Laz. 4-man Dark Angel Company Vets, Azrael, and an Outrider. 3-man Interceptor. Inceptor?
Yeah,
You
sure.
mean Inceptor. Vanguard 2 DE. Contemptors?
Yeah. It's a D.
I don't know. Ezekiel Vendred, Deathwatch Champion, or Deathwing Champion, Ravenwing Apothecary. Love Tuesday's match. Good job, Bridger. Go Wolves. Awoo!
Well, the Awoos pulled it out today.
Yeah.
That was a lot of different models. So I didn't really follow a cohesive theme here.
Okay, so we got some old Marines in transports. We have a Rhino, we have a Razorback with Laz, we have 10 TAC Marines and 5 Intercessors.
So these are just like cheap holding things that you throw away, right?
We have Company Vets. I think those go in the Razorback. So the 10 TAC Marines go in the Rhino.
Yeah.
The 4 company vets go in the Razorback with Azrael.
Sure.
And then we have an Outrider, 3 Inceptors, love it. VG, the Vanguard is the Contemptors, Ezekiel, Vendread.
It sounds like an army that I like because it's got a lot of diversity. Whereas everyone I've seen playing Dark Angels these days is just like, cool, here's all my Terminators.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Whereas it's a whole book out there.
Yeah.
You could do so much cool stuff, and I like that you're digging deep and taking some of the old units as well, because I think I was getting a little bored.
It's not Contemptor.
Oh,
it's
okay.
2 Deathwing Terminator squads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Command squads of Terminators.
I love command squads.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never leave home without them. But I like it. You've got some cool diversity there.
It's a dope
It
list.
seems well-rounded.
We haven't had the Dark Angels in a while because our Dark Angels army really needs a bit more love. Like we got it to like tournament standard, and then it needs to be painted a little more. And we want to like flesh it out, get some more units for it, because we really only have the hardest hitting stuff.
We do.
And it's kind of a boring army when it's in its hardest form.
Its goal
binary.
is non-interaction.
Yeah, it's a
which is not
non-interactive
interesting.
army. Yeah, so that makes it tough. And we either have to pick an army that can beat it, or we have to pick an army that can't. It's super binary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more of a dynamic list.
Yeah, it's got a
It
bit of
has
everything.
Some throwaway units. It has some fast units.
Yeah.
It has some hard-hitting units. I think it's cool.
It's good.
Thank you, Mythic Golem, for the Grey Knight release. Can we get a Month of Shame rematch versus Space Wolves? Bonus points for quoting the song. Quoting this? What song? What?
There's
Months of Shame? Is that a song?
Is that a shit? Yeah.
It's capitalized. I think that means
Yeah.
it's a song.
bonus points for quoting the song. None of us get the bonus points.
Somewhere in that song they must say Months of Shame.
Points are lost.
So I think I get the bonus points.
Let me quote this song, Months of Shame. That was not the name. That was me quoting the song. Yeah, Grey Knights against Space Wolves. That could be an interesting game. The Grey Knights have a history, the Space Wolves have a history of fighting Psychers.
They do.
So could be a thing.
Which they don't have many rules to represent.
They do.
They have some.
They have some.
The
Deny.
runes, the Deny.
Yeah.
They also have the that specific unit that's all about denying, and they have some relics in their army that are also anti-psyker as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
Thank you, Code Cubster. After hearing about Adrian's tournament run, I am interested in trying the Terminus Est Death Guard list.
Nice.
That was a good list.
What are the good units, and what are a couple of good strategies and game plan?
Yeah, in that major, there was actually 2 pretty decent Terminus S lists, and I thought like it was a pretty fluffy thing to bring, but actually, depending on the mission, it's actually pretty deadly. Like the 4 objectives in the middle, them pushing up with 80 to 100 Poxwalkers is really strong.
It's tough to dig through.
Yeah.
So clearly, the Poxwalkers are the star of the show there.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
the Poxwalkers and the Psychers do the mortal wounds, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the Death Guard psychic tree that makes this army genuinely lethal, because it can get through big hordes of Admech, right? But then it's the Poxwalkers who just stay on the point, and they have the shenanigans of regenning at the command phase and snatching a point away from your opponent.
Yep.
It's really big.
Yeah, it'll take a long time for them to chew through the Poxwalkers, and then you'll just bring them back 20 strong.
Yeah.
In their back lines probably. I would almost always take Psychic Ritual, especially because it got buffed in this new chapter approved. So that's an auto take. What are some other good?
That would not be an auto
secondaries?
take for me if they had
Really?
throwaway denies or good denies.
Admech?
Yeah.
Admech does not, but in an
any
Admech
denies.
game, yes. But also, you have to keep in mind that your psychic powers are so precious in that army. So throwing away one of your only probably
You
2
would-
psychers, pretty tough.
You would probably tech into it a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. But I agree. It's all about the psychers and the Poxwalkers. That's what makes it work.
It is something you might want to check into for the reason of Death Guard generally struggle to score secondaries. This is something we've talked about before, in that like they don't really have units that they can do actions with,
Sure. The Poxwalkers famously can only do their specific action.
right? And then like, what are they going to do? Take a kill secondary? Like, what? That's not
yeah.
reliable. They'll just
Not
walk
the
away
easiest
from
thing.
you.
Not the
No.
easiest thing to do.
Especially because they're so slow.
So they can like hold points and they can do their custom one, but then the third one's always a toss up. And I think psychic might be what you want to lean into.
No, I think I love psychic secondaries here. So I am with you. I just would have be careful.
No, you're right. If they tech into it, like today, like if you tech into it and you don't get the 3,
Yeah.
then
It's tricky.
it's tricky.
Yeah. Cool, thanks. Boo Earns. Hey Titans, first tournament on Saturday. Thoughts
Nice.
on Dark Angel Battalion? New to the game with a few Ravenwing, Azrael, Ezekiel,
Clutch.
TM.
Talonmaster.
Talonmaster, yeah.
Also great.
1x5 Incubi, 2x5
Intercessors.
Incursors.
Incursors, okay.
Okay.
I love Incursors, that's cool.
I like Incubi
I
more.
didn't even think about it. I just kept going.
No, that's Incursors, yeah.
2x5 Infiltrators, 1x5 Blade Guard Vet, 3x2 Thunderhammer, Lightning Claw, Deathwatch Command Squad, or Deathwing Command Squad, sorry. Ravenwing,
Chief
Apothecary, 1x3 Multi-Melta Attack Bikes, 1x5
Plasma Scepters.
Plasma Scepters, yeah, and 1x3 Eradicators. Best secondaries to use, thanks.
I don't think you need the Eradicators at that point, by the way.
Don't.
You've overdone your shooting.
And you're not out of slots. Do 3x1 Multi-Melta Attack Bikes, then you can throw them on points one at a time, and they die one at a time, and you're good. You're happy.
Exactly. You have no incentive to have them in one squad that I can think of, other than Chapter Master, which you don't really care about because you'll put it on the Plasma Scepters. It's strong.
So best
Super strong
secondaries.
in midboard. I don't know that you need the Infiltrators and the Incursors. I think you can save yourself some points by taking one of those
No, it's important now. Well,
to have 1 to 2 units of scouts, but not 3.
they've always wanted one set of infiltrators to sit in the backfield, speaking of secondaries, to do their special secondary, where they're just like, this OBSEC unit is going to sit on
Yeah,
this
the
objective
only reason to
forever.
have Infiltrators, though, is so that you can't deep strike near them, and so that you could smoke screen or whatever for plus to save. So
Both great.
yeah, that's cool. So what you're saying is they have 2 upfield and 1 backfield?
The second reason you need infiltrators now is there's this whole take the midboard
Totally.
in deployment game that you have to play with AdMech.
Oh yeah,
Where like they'll take the whole board in deployment if you let them.
yeah.
But you can't because you will lose. So you need to win the roll off to deploy the first unit,
Well,
and then
there's-
put a unit just in the middle of the board. And be
Well, there's
like,
so many armies that can teleport turn 1 also,
Yep.
so you have to watch out for that.
So I think 2 is right.
That's what I'm trying to
Three's
say.
Three's too many.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Take one of them, turn it into such, save yourself some points. But great. You've got a lot of the winners there. Lots of good stuff.
And then you can take Stranglehold every game.
Everyone's going to take Stranglehold every game. Is that not correct? If you're not able to do Stranglehold,
You're not able
you've
to
written your
Warhammer.
army wrong, and you're going to lose all Warhammer games.
Yeah.
Like every army should always be able to Stranglehold, or it wasn't written correctly. Yeah. The list was not written correctly.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. I love seeing the Black Templar love. Given the last couple games and seeing how they work, any ideas on a competitive BT list that's close to fluff?
Close to fluff to me would just mean that they are combat oriented
And robed?
and robed. So let's go with that. I think Blade Guard veterans, combat oriented, robed,
Yeah.
and very Crusade, if I do say
Yeah.
so myself.
A lot of swords, a
Yeah.
lot of cool helmets.
So I think you could go hard on them. There would be no amount of them that would be too many for me. But really, like 2 to 3 units of 5 would do you.
Yeah.
Impulsors work really well for them.
I'm becoming less and less interested in that strat.
I don't care about the strat. I'm saying impulsors in general.
Okay.
As a way to keep them safe and deliver them. Works well for me. The strat is the real deal, though. I don't know what you're talking
So
about.
here's the thing. Like, they have a bunch of great stratagems and relics and warlord traits that just trick you into doing dumb things.
No, you don't have to do it, but it's a thing in your back pocket. It's like Vexilla Teleport Homer, or it's like Stooping Dive. Like, these are really cool things you could do. You don't have to do them all the time.
But it's a buff-oriented army where you can't actually get your buffs because you have to do your trick. Or when you're doing your trick, you don't get your buffs, and then you're like, oops, I don't have my buffs, and
that
I'm a buff
assumes that
army.
you do your trick like early game instead of doing the trick mid game, when you can actually be taking a unit from back into supporting where you already have support characters. So you could do this trick as
No,
a
but you
second
can't.
wave.
All the buffs are command phase. You're in transport. You can't do it.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Like
Chaplain,
that's the problem we've run. Adrian and I have played several games with BT,
Wait, what
and
do
that's
you
the
mean
problem
all
we
your
run
buffs
into
are
every
command
time.
You can get one
Their
off,
litanies
but
are insane.
The litanies are.
Their
yeah.
litanies are nuts. They have a 5-up field pain litany.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
That's
It's good.
amazing. They have a 5-up invuln aura from the librarian. I know what you're gonna say, but like you're shooting your stuff across the board. How did your librarian get there? He doesn't.
It's not easy. But that's what I'm saying. That strat, I'm not saying build your army around it. I'm saying make it a tool that's in your army.
It's a possibility, but once you're in the transport, you're in there. You're either doing the trick or you're waiting another turn. You're
don't-
getting out now. I'm waiting another turn.
I'm still for it. I think Vanguard veterans
Amazing.
are amazing, and you really still want to consider them.
make sure they're robed.
Yeah, definitely put out
to
robe
figure out
army.
how to rope them.
Yeah, or just put like a lot of purity seals on them.
I think you could model a bathrobe, and it would work.
An actual bathrobe, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you need to have chaplains, of course. 1 to 2 chaplains, I think, is
The
fun.
litanies are amazing.
The litanies are so cool, and it's what the army's all
Double
about.
chap. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think librarian? I thought was like they were like anti-psyker. Like I
Yeah,
think
they are
Can they
anti-psyker.
take psychers? I thought they was like they were totally.
they might not
they're
be allowed to take
totally
psychers.
Yeah, I
actually
might have
against
made that up.
psychers.
yeah, I thought they were super anti-psyker. So,
No.
but yeah. Anyways, I would consider maybe the Indominus captain. He's like goes with your Blade Guard army, and he's kind of cool and strong.
It's thematic.
He's not super efficient because you're wasting your chapter
Yeah, your
tactic.
chaplains already kind of do it.
No,
yeah.
but you're also wasting the fact that you have a 4-up Feel No Pain against mortals in an army that already has a 5-up Feel No Pain against mortals.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So you're wasting yourself a little bit.
It's actually only 5-up, so you get nothing.
yeah,
The
is it
shield
really?
is a 5-up on top of your existing 5-up, and they don't stack, so you get nothing.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You get nothing.
So, anyways, those are good units. You can make it work with that.
Yeah.
Judiciary has some robes too. It's like very
Judiciary
bathrobe.
is the most robed
And
character.
And you know what? He's wearing like an
Super
actual
roby.
bathrobe.
That's a stretch.
Like if you look at his robe, it's pretty bathrobey.
That's a stretch.
Painted as like little woolen a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna be good.
All right. Well, we hope that's helpful, Chris.
Perfect.
That was a lot.
Right on the dot.
Thank you, Michael. I've double and triple checked this. Have a good Friday, which is tomorrow.
Are you sure? I believe Friday is definitely here in some places.
It's soon, actually. Friday,
not that soon.
Friday's not. It's not far out.
It's not far out.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Well, have a happy Friday.
Thanks, Michael. And we're glad
Thank you.
you caught up with time. You figured it out.
Yeah, you did it.
Solved that problem. Thank you, Commander McNeil. Hey from Japan. Brian, your Star Trek knowledge was correct in understanding U.S. Navy ranks, though by DS9, O'Brien was a senior chief. Thanks to all the Custodes advice, they were victorious. Yes!
Very nice.
So Commander McNeil had,
remember.
a game
Yeah.
against a person with a rank that I don't know, and he has a rank that I don't know.
He was an ensign. He was playing against an ensign,
Uh-huh.
and he was a chief.
Right. And I totally flubbed what that meant, and you nailed it. You were on it. You were like, ensign, surprisingly higher ranked because it's an officer or something.
Yeah, it's the lowest officer rank.
Yeah.
And chief is the highest enlisted rank.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And yes, O'Brien was. I believe O'Brien was a senior chief, but they didn't really make too many references to that, did they?
What does that mean?
It's just more senior. Like, this character of Chief O'Brien is like one of the most seasoned veterans of Starfleet. He'd been in it forever. He had fought in like 3 wars. He was like an actual like war hero, 3 wars, and he had served on the Enterprise, and he'd done so many things. But he was, he was a chief where that's where you cap out as an enlisted. And so, but he was like as senior as you could possibly get.
Right.
And people did defer to him, even though they might have outranked him.
Right.
And so I think, that was the spirit that they said in the show, and I think it's probably true of a chief. Even though someone might outrank you, you listen to the chief. The chief is like a person of extreme experience and knowledge and insight, and you would do well to heed the advice of your chief, even if they you outrank them or whatever.
Makes sense.
Very cool. And I'm glad the Custodes won.
That's right.
Because they should always win. Thematically. In canon.
They're
should
all
always win.
chiefs.
They're all, no, they're all the highest officer rank, whatever that is.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're all president.
I don't think they are. Because you have captain commanders. Those people are literally just commanders.
No, they just
and a commander
stack ranks
is
on
like
rank.
a high-ish rank, but it's not like a general.
But they're captain commanders.
Yeah.
There's also...
So hold on. I'm pretty sure commander's higher than captain.
There's also Captain General...
No, captain is higher than commander.
Captain General Trajan Valoris.
So it goes commander, then captain, and then admiral.
But Captain Commander, you add the ranks together and make a taller stack.
It multiplies.
Yes.
It is not a pure addition. Yeah. So a captain, But that's weird. Like a captain commander is just like, I'm still my last rank and my new. So it's actually the worst promotion in history because you keep all your old duties and now you get all the new duties. So captain commander is just all paperwork. That's all he is. That's why he gives you so many CP back, because he's just filing paperwork for CP all the time.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. I solved it.
All right. Thanks again, Commander McNeil. Question about Moirax loadout. What would you recommend in support of a Megara, Styrics, and 2 Helverins? Any units I should add? 2,000 points.
So what do you like on the Moirax?
The last time I saw them was a very long time ago. But back then,
haven't seen
lightning
the new-
locks.
I'm getting this book.
Lightning locks were dope.
The lightning locks were super
They
fun.
were amazing.
Yeah.
That's like the chain lightning gun?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I know from the Wire X.
But I will say melee weapons are a must-have now. So like you can't go the double gun you used to go because you have to fight for the midboard now. And if you're not fighting for the midboard, they're going to touch you and you're going to be sad.
Yeah.
What do we got, Brian?
Especially if you're going pure knights. Yeah. Gotta fight.
Okay. So
Because their combat weapon's pretty good, right?
So this is in the, what section of the book is this? Moirax. Knight Moirax? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think, okay, so we have the Graviton Pulsar, which is just D6 shots, 2 damage, meh, blast, goes to 3. The Lightning Lock is 36-inch range, heavy 6, strength 6 minus 2, 1 damage, and an unmodified hit roll of 6 is 2 additional, so it's Tesla.
Yeah, I think that's what it used to be.
And so that's okay. The conversion beam cannon can be pretty cool. It can go to, at long range, it's D3 shots, strength 10 minus 2 for 4 damage in its blast.
Minus 2?
Minus 2 only, yeah.
These days, is there anything AP3? Because these days you're trying to get AP3.
Are you,
The chain lightning.
the chain lightning is only AP2.
It's only AP2.
Oh,
And
is it?
because it's not Space Marines.
The Graviton is AP3.
Yeah, the Graviton is AP3, but it's only D6 shots. It is blast though. And it goes to a damage characteristic of 3 against an armor save of 3
and
plus.
it's base 2.
Yeah, it's base 2. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I'm into the
What about the
Graviton.
Volkite? The Volkite's 5 shots, base 2 as well, strength 6 minus 1, and unmodified wound roll of 6 is 1 mortal wound in addition. A heavy 5.
It's a Volkite with a -1.
Yeah, I think that's kind of
That's
kinda
also
cute.
interesting. But I would stand by the fact that you do need 1 gun and 1 fist.
Yeah, so the Siege Claw is obviously really cool. But if you were to turn them into shooting, probably for me is the Volkite. That's without looking at the points differences.
Yeah.
But I think that I think that's the gun I like the best because 10 shots at 2 damage that could do mortal wounds in addition and high strength. It's good. And AP1 is not great, but it's better than wasted AP most of the time.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So many things ignore
dig it.
AP1 now.
Only one thing that matters.
No, sisters also pretty much army-wide ignore AP1.
Yeah, just don't shoot sisters then.
Roll 6s.
So only the conversion beam cannon costs extra. All the rest are the same.
Nice.
And I don't think the conversion beam cannon warrants.
It's not that compelling.
It's just not enough shots.
I'm not compelled.
And so the Graviton, I hate the D6 though,
Why?
because it's D6.
Yeah?
So what are you getting? You're getting
You're
6
already
shots.
playing knights, man.
The Lightning Lock at least is 12 shots, and
Oh, only if you take 2 of them,
yeah.
which you should not do.
If you're only taking 1 weapon though, then it's not enough shots to be interesting because it doesn't.
The
clear
lightning
any-
lock?
Yeah.
I agree.
So
You used to take 2 of them.
So the
and it would clear a
Graviton
squad.
and the Volkite are the only interesting one gun, and the Lightning Lock can work if you take 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how we feel.
That's where I'm going.
Jacob, you didn't get skipped. The bot, it flips them. If 2 people super chat close to each other, the bot flips them.
Just for fun.
So here you are, Jacob. Thanks, Jacob. So I just bought a Fire Raptor gunship for my
Congratulations.
White Scars. Do you think it has any competitive viability? Fire Raptor does not invoke White Scars in my mind.
But
Yeah.
it's not okay. So here's the answer to this question.
Is it bad though?
It's not bad. So the Fire Raptor, the base profile, what it does, it's good. By default, it's good. The question is, what makes it great? Now, the White Scars have nothing that they give to it that any other
That's what I
chapter
was
can give
thinking.
to it. Okay, so is it good in White Scars? Only as good as it could be in almost any other faction.
Yeah.
And so now you're up to just the plain old datasheet. Now, here's the biggest problem with it. The plain old datasheet, it's an offense, it matches its points cost. So it is dangerous. And White Scars often lack some shooting, so kind of cool. But it is fragile. It's like a flying Land Raider, basically.
Yeah.
And it's actually weaker than a Land Raider, to be honest with you. And so who cannot kill this thing in turn 1? It's too big to hide. So Drukhari pop at turn 1, Admech pop at turn 1, and then another half of the meta pops at turn 1. Everyone else either was a game you were going to win anyways with White Scars.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Or they'll get it turn 2. So with White Scars, you're asking yourself, am I going to get my, if I go second, it's dead. If I go first, do I even get my points back from it? And with White Scars, for me, the answer is almost always no.
It's very counter to the playstyle of White Scars. White Scars bide their time until turn 3. Their army is like putting minimal cheap stuff on objectives and waiting until turn 3, and then they're going to strike.
Or they could strike early by putting things into the Assault Doctrine, but yes.
But the Fire Raptor just gives them something to shoot at turn 1 and 2 while you're waiting.
And it's a lot of points. It's like 450 points or something.
That's a lot
It's
of
like
points.
a Mortarian amount of points.
Right. So like, it's anti-Fire Raptor to me.
And you want to play into your strengths, right? Like if you imagine that could be 2 big units of Vanguard veterans, right? Pretty hard.
That's such a dumb comparison.
But that's what the White Scars would do with those points,
Yeah.
right? Now the reason I say I was just mentioning the Fire Raptor and how good it is. With Iron Hands, you can survive turn 1 because of the Iron Stone.
Yeah, it's a totally different story.
And the Feel No Pain and the double bracketing.
Correct. And then I definitely have somebody around to heal it. And then I get the invuln up on it. And I get radically more efficiency out of it because it's getting additional
Dev
AP
Doctrine all the time.
every turn, and it's re-rolling once, where it does have no re-rolls currently.
Yeah.
So I'm getting, I can't even tell you what extra percentage of damage. I don't have the math in my head, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's like 15+% more damage, in my opinion, out of it as Iron Hands, and much more survivability for the same point cost.
Yeah.
And so that's hard to beat.
It's a lot of opportunity lost there.
Yeah. Yeah, -1 damage on it with the Ironstone is no joke. And
good.
the 6 of Feel No Pain with the number of wounds it has is a meaningful number of extra wounds.
Every time we play -1 damage, it is magnificent.
Yeah.
It's never looked bad.
Yeah, it's very strong.
Rip Shining Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, John. Thanks, the deepest, bluest. What units do you recommend for our sad Imperial Fist boys?
What do we recommend?
Redemptors.
Okay, we said that Redemptor with the Plasma because it's strength 7 and you can get it to pop the extra damage. Cool. If you like bolters and you want to try to max bolters, you could do Contemptors with bolters, heavy bolters.
Okay.
And they actually pop a lot of shots and they can get some good efficiency. So that's cool. You can also, if you wanted to tech into the bolters, you can also heavy intercessor. And they're actually really durable as fists.
They are, yeah.
And they shoot pretty well. They shoot really well, let's be real. So that's the real deal. Other than that, you're taking Space Marine Classics, right? You're taking attack bikes, Interceptors, Blade Guard veterans,
Yeah.
Terminators if you're into that.
Sure, yeah.
And you're just taking the ignoring cover efficiency, which is cool. And you're taking you have some cool strats. Good for you. That's what's up. But otherwise, you're playing Space Marines.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
They're just yellow Space Marines.
Which is one of the best colors of Space Marines. Yellow Space Marines are...
Can be hard to paint.
No. They're always hard to paint, but yellow Space Marine's amazing. I love
If you
yellow.
do it right.
Yeah, if you do it right. Yeah, don't do it wrong.
right.
You heard it here first.
You don't want like orange Space Marines. Unless that's what you're going for.
Listen, I'm fine with that.
But that's got to be what you're going for. If you're going for yellow and you get orange, you're going to be unhappy.
I don't know, but I think if you're going for yellow and you get a nice orange, you can be like, I was going for orange.
Only if you can convince yourself of that.
I could convince
You
myself.
could convince yourself of that. But
I
I
could
think the
talk
average
myself
person
I could talk myself into it.
would be disappointed. Thank you, Noah. Hey, Titans, thank you for the content, but what do y'all think about a Knight and Custodes list to help Custodes with shooting?
We've done this before,
Yeah.
and it actually does help, which is kind of cool. And you could do the cheeky Aquilon shield
Yeah.
trick. This is a mean little trick that's actually hard to pull off, but super cool.
It's funny.
It is funny. One of the shield hosts, called the Aquilon Shield, has a stratagem that allows them to defend an Imperial character. And so you have to shoot at
That's awesome.
them instead of at the character. So you take a unit of 5 sword and
guard.
shield custodian guard, you advance them up in front of the shooting knight,
Castellan.
a Castellan knight, and now all of a sudden they can't even shoot your Castellan. They have to shoot your
Custodian
0 up save or what, even -1 up save or whatever, 3 up invuln.
That you can't reroll against. And
Yeah, you can't reroll against, yeah.
They're
And
minus
so your
damage
knight is
and-
actually really tough. It only works against a single activation, though. It's not it doesn't work for the whole turn.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's
Really?
you pick a single activation and you say now you have to do it. It's not the whole turn. Or I think you legitimately would have seen this strategy more often.
I think it is the whole turn, but knights aren't good enough.
That's kind of cool
to
though. You
make
can
it-
just pick like the last cannons or
I don't
whatever
think so.
is going to shoot the dark lances.
This is in War of the Spider, right? So here we are. I'm Aquilon Shield. Here's the relic, Shield of Honor, 1 CP.
It's a strat.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's a strat. 1 CP. Use this stratagem in any phase when an Imperium character from your army is chosen as the target of an attack by a model in the enemy unit. By a model in an enemy unit. Select one friendly Aquilon Shield infantry or Dreadnought within 3 until the end of that phase when resolving an attack by that model
Oh.
in that enemy unit.
Oh.
Measure range to the Imperium character. So,
That's good.
Oh, that's so bad.
no, hold on. This used to be more interesting when they had Castellans and they were shooting your Castellans.
Yeah.
And so it was like, your Castellan shoots my Custodian shoots your Castellan. Now, when they have 3 units of 3
They have 6 Raiders.
Iron Striders,
Yeah.
you're only picking 1 Iron Strider.
Right.
Right? And so it's less interesting, but it still has its uses.
Yeah.
But it's by no means invincible knight.
Right.
But it has its uses.
It's cool.
It's a real thing.
Cool trick.
But yeah, go for it. And yeah, go for it. Like if you're serious about shooting, then a Crusader could do it. I like knights that are multi-purpose these days.
Well, I mean, every knight is kind of multi-purpose out of the box.
They
They stomp.
No, I mean when I say multi-purpose, I'm actually referring to stratagems. So these days, like a paladin has the auto hit strat
Right.
with his chain cannon or whatever. So the stratagems give them multi-purpose beyond, which I think is kind of cool.
Thanks, Jacob. Are there any Forge World vehicles that seem good in White Scars? My friend has a Sicaran. I'm going to get from him. Looks too cool not to use.
Well, I agree with that one.
Sicarans are dope.
And they're fast, which is what they're all about. You got to go fast,
True.
right?
White Scars go fast.
Oh, Mastodon?
I don't know about that.
Okay, hold on. It holds 40 chapter infantry, which could be jump pack models
Uh-huh.
or centurions. And so you
And?
get
Where are you going with this?
you put a bunch of White Scars in it, and then drive up, and then party bus. Just get out.
Yep. Okay. I mean,
Except when you.
all right.
It only moves
Okay.
10 inches though, so your jump packs would have been faster
Yeah.
advancing on their own.
Or they get out turn 1.
Yeah. And you
move.
get yourself
That's
3 extra
actually
inches.
nuts, yeah.
So you paid 600 points for 3 inches of movement.
Yeah.
Turn 1.
Wow, but that's a lot. Could win you games.
It could. Well, listen, I will also say I genuinely think Fellblades are cool in every army.
Okay.
They're not good in every army.
I mean, you're
What?
digging deep here, Brian. You're finding.
Listen, I got the book. And I love the Fellblade. It's like, what if you had a Baneblade, but it looked even tougher?
And it's Space Marines.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's, I don't know. It's pretty good. It has 2d6, strength 8, -3, 3 damage blast shot. That's good.
It's like, okay.
It has a 2-shot, strength 14, flat 6 damage.
That's also
That's
like,
less
okay.
good. That's less good. But
They're both pretty okay.
it has 3 or 6 shots with its laser destroyer, which are 3 plus D3 damage at strength 10.
Now we're talking.
Jacob says he's sold.
Yeah.
You got him.
Oh, he's getting a Mastodon. Okay.
Mastodon, okay, I should tell you, the Mastodon is a really hard model to build. And it's super cool, but it'll be a big job.
Brian immediately turns around and he's
It's,
like, now hold on,
it's
wait,
kinda
before
like-
you get a Mastodon.
It's like building a
Out of the
Thunderhawk.
cart.
Like, Thunderhawks are really hard to build, too.
Now that you've bought it, let me tell you the reasons you shouldn't have bought it.
No, there's another transport that's even faster, which is a Storm Eagle gunship. Stylish
That
looking.
is a much faster transport.
Yeah, it moves 45 inches instead of 10. In keeping with your gotta go fast.
The juxtaposition of like, you have a turtle. They just made a turtle tank that
Yeah,
just
it's
moves
kind of cool
troops
looking though.
versus a Storm Eagle gunship that flies them from planet to planet.
Yeah. I will also say a Dreadnought drop pod is fun because how are you going to deliver those cool Forge World Dreadnoughts? Because they actually have really nice Forge World Dreadnoughts. How are you going to deliver them? Dreadnought drop pod. That's the answer.
Boom.
So actually, what isn't good for White Scars in here?
You should work for Forge World sales because I feel like you
Do you know how much Forge
World
World I've bought?
Forge World to anybody.
I love it. So the Sicaran is obviously the right answer as well. But I don't know which Sicaran is right for you. You're going to have to pick for yourself. That's pretty much it. That's all I got. I don't know.
Well, you buy a Sicaran and then you buy all the guns, and now you.
No, because there's one of them that's a different chassis.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought Sicaran was
Javelin.
the name of the chassis.
Hold on. The Javelin attack speeders.
Okay.
Those are so cool. Those
They're
have those
very-
missile launchers on
very white
top,
scars.
and they're very white scars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually seen those competitively. People play those.
Yeah, they're no joke. They actually are pretty cool. And they have the because they have the speeder rules. You can actually use all the speeder strats.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like that. That's not even like that's not a joke answer. That's a real answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a real answer.
The other ones were real answers too. But
Well, no, the Mastodon was not a real answer.
it's good for your collection, bad for your tabletop.
Yes. Okay.
Hold on. Does the Mastodon even have like one good weapon though?
No.
It's like 800 points.
It's 600 points, but
Is it 600 points?
it's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, it does fit. I believe it.
It has like 30 wounds.
Okay, okay, okay.
lots.
It only has 2 heavy flamers, sad. 2 las cannons, super sad. A siege melter array, what's that one? 6 melta shots, so 6 melta guns.
At 12 inch?
24 inch.
Okay. So it's 3
Nice.
multi-melts stapled together.
Yeah. So that's
But you have
okay.
to shoot all of them at one target.
And then it has. no, it's 6. It's a heavy 6, so you can break.
so you have to shoot all of them
Oh,
at one
yeah,
target.
that's true, you do. No.
If you ever really wanted something dead,
Yeah.
shoot 6 meltas at
That
it.
thing's dead.
Wait, you can split.
No, you can't split
Oh.
a gun at multiple targets. It's one gun.
Yeah, you're right. And then it has a Sky Reaper battery, which is 8 shots that do 2 damage against aircraft. But it has crushing tracks, which are sadly only D3 damage, but it does have only 6 stacks. It's less than, it's like a Land Raider.
What's the weapon
is-
skill? Is it
Weapon skill
6?
5.
Oh,
so if you took it as
Space Wolves.
Space Wolves, hit on 4s.
Now we're talking.
And if you, like me, roll 80% 6s,
That was savage.
it actually has a lot of attacks. All of a sudden. That's the way to do it.
All right.
Okay, I think we've definitively answered.
We've
The Mastodon is the answer.
Solved it.
Mastodon is 800 flat points.
Do
Wow.
not buy a
We
Mastodon.
went full circle. We're back at
Do not buy
You know, okay. Do
Mastodon.
you know what has the transport capacity of a Mastodon, but the speed
of a Storming Eagle gunship.
of the Stormy Will? It's the Sokar pattern Stormbird.
That carries 40 models.
It carries 50.
What? I
And-
almost forgot we were streaming and said something I shouldn't.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It has 50. It has 4 twin las cannons.
How many
And
points is this?
3 twin heavy bolters. And a Hellstrike missile, which is nothing. It's 40 wounds at 2-up save.
So this is like 1,000
Yeah,
points?
sounds
It
like
is
1,000
literally
points.
1,000 points.
Wow.
1,000 points flat.
Why do we
Half
not
your
own
army.
this? This thing sounds awesome.
We've been making huge, and it has void shields, so which are actually
Yes!
good.
I need this in my life.
Yeah, it explodes for 2d6 range, 2d6 mortals.
Oh, that's a big boom.
You could put this in armies that auto explode.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool. I'm into
2d.
it.
Imagine 2d6. Like I would just fly it up
Yeah.
and be like, sorry, I
Well,
paid
you
1,000
put-
points,
just
and I'm
to-
going to do
just to blow
1,200
up.
points of damage to your army.
You put your whole army inside of it. You fly up, and you say, "Come on." What
Yeah,
are you gonna do?
but then
You replace their army.
You kill a hole. Yeah, and then your army.
you put your army where their army used to be.
That's right. This is a great strategy.
That's
They're like,
awesome.
I'm going to surround your thing so that everyone dies. And you're like, no, you're all
They come out. Where'd everyone go?
dead. Yeah.
This used to be a battlefield.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Good answers.
All right, one last question for the night. Thank you again, Rhetoric the Entertainer. Last time I played Thousand Suns in 8th, I ran 3 Vortex Beasts.
Nice. Yeah, you did.
Are they
No.
still good? Or are we back to gore spam with buck up guns summoning demons?
Well, I'm pretty sure since you last ran them in 8th, the rules have literally not changed.
Right. They were
Right?
scary in 8th.
Were they though?
I mean,
yeah, I don't think they've changed.
to me,
They haven't. The rules haven't changed for them, right?
Because they're not Forge World, although they feel like they should
They
be.
feel like, yeah, you'll see it on the table and you'll be like, what is that?
Be like, wow.
Mu Lex Vortex Beast.
my-
So can it fight? Okay, so it has a random number of attacks. No, it's 4 attacks at its top profile.
Oh, come on.
That is so sad. And it has its claws, which are only 2 damage, AP 2, strength 7, and it is weapon skill 4. So it is not a fighter under any circumstances.
Does it have any ranged?
It has no.
How did you lose to these?
I don't
So-
want to talk about it. I was thinking about like, how did I?
You were thinking, how did you lose
Yeah,
to
how
these?
did?
It has a 5-up invuln, nothing special. Regains 1 wound, nothing special. And then what is this? Unstable energies. If it has 7 or more wounds remaining, you get to like double the range of its powers. Cool.
Oh, it has powers.
Yeah. No. It has
Yeah,
the
yeah.
warp vortex, which is a shooting phase ability.
There we go.
What?
It
is
attempts to use
interesting.
its power. You roll a d6 and you roll on the chart. So, okay, so give me a number on the chart.
4.
Number 4.
That was quick.
Pick a Tzeentch unit within 9 and improve the AP of all their melee weapons by 1 until the end of the turn, not even the round.
Why?
Um,
But why?
yeah, but why?
But why?
Yeah.
Cool.
Why is no?
Okay, let's
no, but why?
let's assume the 6 is the best.
Because each.
Roll 3 dice for each 4-up. The closest enemy unit immediately suffers 1 mortal wound. So
within
the best
a range.
within 18 on a 4-up.
So
you
the
do
most
one.
it does is 3 mortal wounds. To 3 different units.
No, the truth is that's like 1 to 2 mortal wounds at best. Yeah, it's really, really bad. And then if you roll a 1,
It dies.
each enemy unit within 9 takes 1 mortal wound. So very close. So it's the best and worst it could do is nothing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't fight and it doesn't shoot. So I think
You got some explaining to do, John.
I don't want to talk about it, all right? I think, well, he maybe had 2 Vortex Beasts, if I remember. This is my last LVO, guys. And I played against a list I had no idea what it was. It contained Vortex Beasts. And I lost to it, man. I don't know.
well, that's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing.
And no, they're not good right now. I really hope they get good though,
They seem cool.
because they're really unique. It's like an Age of Sigmar model
Essentially, yeah.
in 40K.
Yeah.
They really need to give it some more love though, because it's a weird, unique thing. And I like the idea of like a giant like warp beast. It's kind of cool.
cool.
Yeah.
We do have a couple more that are sneaking in here. Thank
right.
you. Streamline, are Devastator Centurions with heavy bolters still worth it for Space Marines? I yellowed into 6 of them, and now I'm not sure how to make them work.
Yeah.
They're real expensive.
They're like real talk with you. They're genuinely bad.
Yeah, they're paying for the sins of a prior
past.
era.
Previous,
Yeah. Because they were a menace.
Yeah, they were like, everyone was taking them, right?
Everyone was taking like between 6 to 18 of them.
Oh, that was Assault Centurions. These are specifically sent devs.
Yeah.
Even devs were
Yeah.
They were good.
seen.
They were good.
Yeah,
But they
Imperial
weren't-
Fists took them,
Yeah.
Ultramarines took them, etc. But yeah, they're way overpriced because they were so good. They swung too far the other way. They don't have core, which is kind of arbitrary to me because everything else has core.
Right.
I mean, you look at like normal Marines have core and Dreadnoughts have core, but the thing's literally just a mix of the two. They were like, nah, that's too weird. We're not
I think
gonna
they
do that core.
they literally just wanted to nerf them into the ground.
They did. I mean, but they got hit twice, specifically heavy bolter ones, because heavy bolters, when they went to 2 damage, went up a lot of points. They
And
were
they
like
have a lot
10
of heavy
points, and
bolters.
now they're like 25 points.
But that would make this unit very scary, but only if it still got its rerolls.
Yeah.
Right? So they're way, way, way too many points. And they always had major drawbacks. They were slow.
Do you remember the game where you made it so I couldn't get my cent devs out of a building?
Yeah, because
for
you
the
had them
entire
in a
game?
building, and I would half
bases
their
were too
movement.
big?
No, I would.
Oh, okay.
So I would use the Thunderfire cannon.
Yeah.
Who would hit them in half their movement,
Yeah.
And
And-
half their advance.
half their advance, half their movement. And so the issue was their maximum movement couldn't get their base to clear the building.
Yeah.
And I just did that. He deployed them all in the building, so it was like until turn 3 that he could even get one out.
Forever in a magic box.
Yeah, they were just stuck.
Miserable.
It was miserable.
I
And
was so
It
upset.
was like 500 points.
I was so upset.
And such a great tactic. I'm so proud. And but yeah, that's the problem. They're slow, and they're kind of vulnerable to everything these days. And their output just isn't warranted.
Yeah.
And because they're not core, they're not benefiting from
Anything?
getting all the cool like rerolls or any of the relics or the invulnerable
Invulns,
save.
nothing.
Or so unfortunately, they're just unplayable.
I don't even think, can you res them with an apothecary?
No. Oh, they're infantry. So
Yeah,
yes.
they're infantry.
Or maybe core infantry only. I'll have to double
I think
check.
it's only core.
Resing them would be too much. Let's be real.
Would be too much?
It would be too much. Yeah, I
At
think.
their points cost?
Yeah, I think resing.
They're like
resing
150 points a model right now.
they're not, but they're high, and getting that many points back is not fair or reasonable. Like,
When they
getting them-
weren't
Price
worth those
probably.
points to begin with.
Still, it's too much
Yeah.
because they come back at full wounds. You can't.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's
So,
too much.
anyways, you play them if you have fun with them. Last time I played them was my sent devs for my Ultramarines, long time ago against Orcs, and although I won that game because the Orcs were well underpowered, the sent devs had no, like I won
Little
despite
to
of them.
no role,
They
yeah.
almost did no damage in the entire game.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
For several reasons. One, they were just missing because they don't have rerolls. And two, they were so slow that he was so easily able to just move out of their line of sight.
Right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't move far enough to swing back into line of sight.
Yeah.
So it was awful. It was awful.
All right, last one of the night. Thank you, Jacob. Reason I ask is I just bought a Necron Pylon
Nice.
and a Fire Raptor, just looking to make all these purchases at once. Necron Pylons are dope.
Dude, they're awesome.
They
is
are
that the,
so awesome.
Is that the huge one or is that
That's
the mini?
the big one.
Okay,
big
They
cool.
do have small pylons and big pylons.
Yeah, yeah.
But nobody ever buys a small pylon because they see the big one and they're
big
like,
one is dope.
why would I ever buy this little pylon? I've played against a lot of pylons. Have you played against a lot of pylons?
Dude, yeah.
They used to be really common around here, right?
Yeah, yeah. You used to be able to hold, like, there's some missions where you can, like, literally sit between two objectives and, like, hold both. Now they changed it in 9th where you can't with one model. But, yeah, it's awesome.
So I used to, every single RTT would have at least one pylon, right? That we had ever used to go to.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a few guys.
So they're
or a guy.
475 points now, the Gauss pylon. And it's a lot of points.
It hits.
They're 30
pretty well.
wounds, T8. Only a 3-up save, though. I would have really hoped for more. They do have friendly Necron models receive 5-up invuln while they are within 6 inches, not wholly within. So that's actually genuinely usable because you could get some warriors trailing back to them. And you get it turn 1, so you don't have to put your invuln up. So I actually think that's the real deal. And it has the dimensional translocation ability, so I guess it deep strikes, which is cool. And
That'd
In
feel
what
so
universe-
bad, yeah.
What?
If you want to, it does, yeah,
Where
I do
would you
remember
put
it
it on
deep
the
striking, but no
table?
one would ever because you could just screen it out and it would be.
yeah.
You wouldn't physically be able to place it. They would move once and you'd be like, oh, guess I'm back in my deployment zone where I would have been turn 1.
Yeah, so the main weapon on it is 2d3 shots, strength 16, -4, d3 plus 6 damage.
It's cool.
It's good. And it's blast, and
Is this all the macro?
it's add 2 to attacks, plus 2 to hit against flyers.
Okay.
And no,
Which
they got rid of
doesn't-
macro from
wait,
the game.
Why is it
Right.
plus? Oh, because it's net plus 1.
net
with
plus
the-
1.
I get it.
So its ballistic skill is only 3. With something this large, you would hope it's a 2, but and that's plus 2 to hit against aircraft, not flyers. And then it's
It used to be anything with fly.
yeah, and then its other mode of shooting is rapid fire 6, strength 6, -2 for 2 damage.
Rapid fire?
Rapid fire 6, range 30.
Why would the giant mega gun become rapid fire?
I don't know. I remember, I thought it used to have pistols where,
did.
like, you could, if somehow you got in combat, it would
would
shoot the
just zap
pistols
you.
instead of the big gun.
It was like shooting
then-
lightning out.
So
all the
this
time?
one,
Yeah.
this one, because it's one weapon is blast, it could shoot that rapid fire weapon in combat, which is
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Nice.
And then it has the Tesla arc, which is 3d6, strength 4, no AP, and it's just 1 damage, and it's Tesla. So that's not too interesting.
That's what the pistol.
and that's
thing
only a
was.
3-inch range.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be big when it had the macro, thing.
Yeah.
That a lot of Forge World had, and it would kind of counter this Titan meta
Yeah.
that Necrons might
Couldn't
struggle
really deal with, yeah.
Yeah. The problem is it's just shooting at one target every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
a
for
problem with it.
For 475, but giving the invuln is its most interesting thing.
Yeah.
By
yeah,
far.
I think so
Sure.
too. Yeah.
I think that's genuinely the most interesting.
It's unobscurable and it has how many wounds?
30. Yeah.
That's a decent number. And it's
Most
T8.
people aren't going to get it in one turn.
Does it have an invuln?
It gives
probably
all
gets its
Necron
own-
models.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it has a 5-up.
Yeah,
So AdMech only probably kill it in 1 turn.
I don't think so. I think they really hurt it, but I don't think they kill it.
Well, there's strength 9.
I get you, and it is only T8. Yeah, I mean they do a good number on it.
I think 12 of the new las cannons will probably kill it.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, but it's cool.
But we're talking
You
about
only need
AdMech
6.
is the most
You only need
busted.
6 to go through.
AdMech is the most busted thing out there. So you need half to go through, which you're not going to get. Between hitting and wounding, you're not going to get half. So it lives. It lives.
So you'll have it turn 2.
You'll have it turn 2,
Or
which is all you can ever
deep
ask for.
strike it,
No, because you want your warriors to have the invuln turn 1. That's the whole point.
keep them in cover,
Yeah, that's
deep
true.
strike it, and then you come out.
I'm with it. All right, did we do it?
We have done it, gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much
Awesome.
for all the questions and hanging out with us tonight. We always have a good time. You know, I was just having a good time playing Warhammer tonight.
Yeah, I love playing Ynnari. Love
Yeah,
playing
I
Brian.
love playing the Space Wolves too. It's been
Dude,
so
yeah.
long.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to just after this. We'll plan up what our Saturday game is.
We'll have to figure it out.
I don't think we've decided yet.
We haven't. We also have to figure out a vote for Tuesday.
Let's do all of those things.
Maybe tonight.
All right, maybe. All right, well, thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you next time on the tabletop.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.